Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, sometimes people have to sell a rental home. So, why is now actually a great time to sell a rental home?
Well, Richard, the laws between landlords and tenants right now have gotten more tenant friendly, let me say it that way. So certain things are okay to deal with, like if your tenant has a late fee, they restricted how much you can charge to either which one's higher, $50 or 5% of the rent. They can also, there's no limit on security deposits, but it's supposed to be designed to cover like the normal wear and tear when they move out. So there's no maximum amount, but typically most landlords are going to charge about 1 month's rent. Now you can get insurance policies against damage. And if you're interested in that, give me a call at 719-301-3900. I'm happy to share that with you. But you can buy insurance that will cover if your tenant happens to trash the house. And those are the stories I hear all the time. People talk about those where the tenant left the house behind. They left. I talked to one just last weekend where they moved out in a couple months ago and their furniture is still in there. So they're still paying rent for their furniture. And the seller's kind of stuck. And it's like, get out, you know? Um, and then there's also, if this landlord does not comply with the very strict timelines of giving them an answer about what's going to happen with this security deposit, the tenant can come after you for 3 times the cost of the deposit. Now, there are some exceptions to a standard lease where the tenants can terminate early. 4 of them basically can be met. One of them is if they're in the military and they're being transferred. Number 2 is if the property is hazardous or uninhabitable. And I have to tell you a horror story. I had somebody working for me before. She was a manager, property manager, and she let somebody in that basically they had a lot of resources financially and they paid their rent a full year in advance. She got into a fight with her boyfriend. She stepped out of the house. Apparently there was fighting going on and they called the police. For some reason, they brought the SWAT team. He wouldn't leave the house. They started shooting tear gas in the home. And the police just blew out every window, every door. And the guy got away, which was kind of funny. And they did about, I don't know, a couple $100,000 worth of damage to the home. So the owner had to pay to house the tenant who caused the problem. And then the owner tried to keep the security deposit and she had money behind her. She had sharp lawyers. And actually, the seller lost their case that she had to give the security deposit back to the buyer that caused this big fight in the first place, or the tenant rather. So anyway, that's another example. Might be domestic violence where they can actually terminate early. Landlords can, of course, evict for non-payment. And there's a lot of rules that changed around giving proper notice. So now, if their lease is about to expire, you really have to give notice 120 days out, anywhere from 90 to 120, that you plan to sell the property. You can't kick them out if you're going to raise the rent. That doesn't work. But anyway, there's that. And then the other thing that's going on that I just heard about, and I wasn't able to find it online, but somebody that's a very busy property manager told me that in 2025, they changed the law that said that the tenant has a right to a jury trial if they're getting evicted. Well, guess what? It takes 6 months to get a jury trial. So they could be in your house for 6 months not paying. That one scared me. I was like, ooh, maybe not. Maybe I won't rent this place. I just bought a place, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. But anyway, so basically there's all kinds of rights that tenants have, and I definitely would look into it. I don't think right now, this business with the way the laws have changed is something that you'd want to do on your home. You would want to hire a professional property manager because there's so many rules. Like if they quit paying, you can't turn off the utilities. You cannot do that. The utility companies won't let you do that. And the house has to be, you know, basically habitable or they could come after you for it. So I've had so many people that I've met with over the years that have talked about frustrations of how, they'll find people in the home that aren't on the lease. Well, guess what? You have to evict them. It doesn't matter if they're on the lease or not. And in general, though, if you decide to sell it, I've had some landlords, I don't know if you remember back in COVID, the tenants didn't have to pay rent for a while. And I had one client that they're very nice people, but they were trying to figure out, okay, how do we do this? Do we evict them or we kill them with kindness? So what they ended up doing, they asked them to move. They wouldn't really move. So they finally said, all right, how about if we pay for a storage facility for your stuff? And that worked. That got them out of the house. So there's all kinds of creative ways to deal with this. But when you get ready to sell your home, you have to make it look pretty. Unless you've got it priced way below market value, the buyers will not overlook condition issues. So an example of a kitchen that has broken formica, that's enough to make a buyer turn their nose up at it. And it might not cost you more than $2,000 to replace counters with formica. Some of the things that are really good to update would be flooring, light fixtures, plumbing fixtures. Make sure the shower is clean, that there's no discoloration or what they call mold. Service the water heater. And so you just want to make sure that once you get them out, you're going to have to spend a few months of empty time getting the home ready for sale. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about why now is the best time to sell a rental home. And next up, we're going to be talking about some tips on how you can prevent craziness from happening on your rental property. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That is Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. If you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Barb, what are some other things that people should consider when they're selling a rental home?
Well, Richard, I'd say the biggest challenge for most landlords is to get them out, right? And you have to go through an attorney to do the formal eviction process. If it comes to that, sometimes just posting a notice is enough. Sometimes working with them is fine. But at the end of the day, when you get the home emptied, then you have to deal with repairs to bring it to full market value. And the key things that buyers are looking for generally is just move-in ready. They don't want to do any work, right? So look at light fixtures, look at flooring, make sure the home looks really, really nice. I just talked to one this morning where he goes, you should have seen this home when I got it from the tenant. Now he put a lot of money into that home to make it look good, and it's beautiful, and we were able to sell it right away. So that's the key, but not everybody has those resources. Another solution to that would be to price it right. But in general, floorings, landscaping, bathrooms, cosmetic stuff is really critical because we know buyers are making a decision about what homes they're going to go look at based on the online presentation. And you have less than a minute to make an impression. So if they see that the carpet needs to be replaced, if they see that there's broken stuff, they're kind of like, I don't want to spend, money on a property that I need to put more cash into when I buy it, unless it's really, really a good deal. And so that's part of what we help people do. We'll sit down with you and give you tips on what to do, what not to do to get your house ready for sale, go over all the closing costs, and give you a really good idea on what you'll put in your pocket when it sells. So just give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Barb Schlinker on Your Real Estate Voice. If you're thinking of selling your home, You want to get the most amount of money, of course. Call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Barb, time for the lightning round of the homes you've got up for sale this week. What do you have?
All right. Well, I've got a really beautiful Briargate home, 8230 Camfield Circle, priced at $439,999. This home has an abundance of gleaming hardwood floors, granite counters, backs to open space. Really cool historic property up in Cripple Creek at 292 on Carr Avenue. An amazing home on Highway 24 in Woodland Park with gorgeous views at 299. A couple of great homes out east in Yoder, one on 375 Rush Road, priced at $374,999, over 2 acres. And right next door, a beautiful property, 355 North Rush Road, priced at $464,999. That one's on 9 acres, and they both back to open space that's very less likely to be built on anytime soon. Both of those properties have plenty of garage and workshop, and it's just, you can move right into those. They're really cute homes. Another fantastic one on the west side, 610 North Tower, that was actually used. The basement was rented out with a 5-star Airbnb, which is transferable, and the seller was able to command almost $15,000 a month in rent just on renting the basement. So imagine having somebody pay half of your mortgage every single month. A new listing we're going to be featuring actually this weekend, 7106 Red Cardinal Loop in Colorado Springs, priced as a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, stunning yard, and it backs to open space as well as the back and the side. Gorgeous gleaming hardwood floors, granite counters, fresh carpet, priced at $524,999. Beautiful home on the southwest part of town on Beckett Drive at 695. Another fantastic patio home, 2411 Spanish Oak Terrace, priced at $749,999, backs to the golf course, but the lot affords privacy from the golf balls, the way it's structured. It's really nice. Really amazing townhome that's owned by the VA on Domi Kite View, priced at $379,999. Another Briargate home, 4-bedroom, 3-bath on Zurich Drive, $454,999. New listing on 2057 Killdeer Court. This gorgeous 2-story home with a finished basement and a 2.5-car garage has 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, brand new carpet, brand new flooring at $479,999. An amazing home on the west side, Big Valley, priced at $715,000 with a detached 3rd-car garage, ultimate man cave workshop. And that one has updated kitchen, really beautiful home. Another stunning home in Briargate, prestigious Summerfield, 8935 Coberdale Court, priced at $659,900. This gorgeous home, it has an amazing kitchen and master bath. The kitchen has this giant island where you could seat 6. There's even a drink refrigerator built into the island and Lux vinyl flooring on the main level. It is stunning. And that one's a great home. Another beautiful one, 5081 Broadmoor Bluffs Drive at $684,999, backs to NORAD with fresh carpet. Gorgeous home on 2025 True Vista up in right at County Line Road, close commute to Douglas County at $734,999. Beautiful updated kitchen. And then we have a beautiful lot on 624 Hidden Valley in Lake George, and that lot is priced just at $35,000. So if you're interested in any of our properties, you can go to barbhasthebuyers.com, or if you want to make a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900. Richard?
You've been listening to Your Real Estate Voice. It airs every weekend. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb Schlinker at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Remember, you can see replays of the program as well on Barb's YouTube channel and listen to the podcast on all of the popular platforms like Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, many, many others. Thanks for listening this weekend. To reach out to Barb, again, that number is 719-301-3900. Barb, great talking with you. Have a great week. We'll talk again next weekend.
Thank you. Have a wonderful week.